So yeah, I'm walking here in Seapoint in the promenade. Yeah, and that's it now. 7 o'clock on Monday morning, and everybody is jogging and being fit here. How crazy! Let's see which people are here. So I remember when I was a young guy, this place was not allowed for me. It was just white people. Okay, we could always walk here, but I mean, we couldn't live here. It wasn't allowed. And now, I don't even feel like living here. Yeah. So, funny thing, I dropped my kiddie here to go somewhere, and I said, now I have to come. I mean, she said, well, she'll miss the beach, and I live here and I never go to the beach. I said, I don't go to the beach because it was like full of people and full of stuff, and now when I get here now, at least it's early, but then it's just mostly the white people walking around here, which I'm still traumatized about. That's why I came to check. But yeah, I see some ninja people also, but I just wonder where they from. I guess maybe they're not even South African. So who are hanging out here? Who's running around? Who lives here now? They say it's the new South Africa. I guess my stupid autistic head just can't get past stuff. It's stuck. Yep, looks like it's still mostly white people. I wonder if I can talk to anybody if they will talk to me. Guess not. Yeah. Look at that. Does look pretty, the mountain. You. Very full.
He knows it very well.
But boo. Yeah, maybe one day I will enjoy doing this walk here in Cape Town. Yeah, I don't think this is a very inspiring video for anybody, because yeah, this is like memories just come back no matter how I want to think it's new South Africa. Just can't get over that shit. Yeah, I know, I've been going to psychologists for 2 years now. trying to work through that shit. They said, oh, I must go for a walk and enjoy fucking the nature. Well, I mean, I still do my duties, all that crap. Do stuff, get out, but geez, I really don't enjoy walking here. It's horrible. I mean, in theory it's a pretty place, but they didn't even damage the nature too bad. I mean, this wall here, as you see here, I mean, okay, they did build too close to the ocean, but I mean, like in other places, killed all the beach sand, but here there's no beach sand, there's just rocks here. It's not too bad. So we have this fancy promenade and all this fit people running around. My god, I don't know if they're on holiday or what. Wish I can try to talk to them, it'll be funny. They're on holiday and so they come for the early morning happy walk. I wonder, are they happy? Or are they enjoying this place? Check them out, let's check their faces. What a fucking miserable video. My kitty said, oh, it must be terrible being me. I don't like it when there's a lot of people, don't like it when there's a little people, don't like the nature. So I say I like to go places I don't know. But anyway, I live here now. I have to. I was made here. As a slave, how people were made here. I'm from here. My country. Fuck, I hate it. I think I'd go back. I'm bored. That's how walking back. So funny, when I was a young teenager in the colored my people, we used to come here and on Sundays with the cars and just stand here, and further down that way is a pool. And we were not allowed in a pool, so we used to stand and watch the people. And the colored duties, they come here with their girls and they park in their cars and they try to buy ice creams and shit for their girlfriends. I never did that. See, I never dated in Cape Town, so I don't know how that shit works. But yeah, it used to be down there. Funny. Walking. I think maybe the actual movement give me a little dopamine, maybe. It was done by a psychiatrist, or a psychologist, whatever. See, I went out. I haven't been out for fucking weeks now. Cape Town just don't interest me. Every fucking video you watch about this foreigners coming in, how fucking great it is here and nice and all those cool places and all that shit. I don't feel it. I wish I could. Because maybe one day I'll get here and I fucking like walking here. But what I can do, if there's somebody I like my wife or kids, and I walk with them here and they enjoy it, then I enjoy it with them. But no, it's just yeah, not too long then by the car. Maybe I will do some pull-ups by the place. Nah, I ain't in the fucking mood. Yep, I can still do a fucking pull-up. Hello. Yeah, so that's the fucking pool. How boring. What are they doing with the tent here? So yeah, that looked rather miserable. However, I'm gonna explain why it's so miserable to me. It's because yeah, I bought a smoothie here at one of that shops. Check that smoothie. That smoothie is quite worth it. I mean, it's not like super worth it, but it's okay. I think they have like mixed berries, almond milk, banana, and some yogurt, and then they charge 65 rand for that. Which, I mean, I think if you buy in the shop and make it, it's gonna be about, I don't know, 20 rand. Or I'm not sure, something like that. And then you need a mixer and all that stuff. So in the end, yes, it's quite a good price. So however, what annoys me about this whole region, this whole Cape Town, this whole Seapoint, is that I asked the worker there or the person in the shop that was serving if it's her shop or her stall, a little stall there. It's just a little stall, as you can see. I showed it earlier, and she said now she's working there with another lady, the two of them, and they get paid. I mean, that to me is a bit like I would have liked if they owned it, because they're not like, they're from the old underprivileged people. This is how many years? 30 odd years, is it now? 31 years after apartheid, and they're in this old area, Seapoint, working here, and they still don't own it. And who owns it? A white guy. An article published on the UCT website, A Living Wage and the Dignity Afforded by Choice. So this lady, or Professor Mayer, studied this thing, and this is something I also always thought about: minimum wage. What is the minimum wage that gives dignity to a human being? And according to her, how can society put human dignity at the heart of jobs and job creation? Okay, you can read the article here. The website is there. Put it in the bottom. However, the main thing here is that since 1990s, economic growth has been the chosen path to inclusive prosperity in South Africa, and greater participation in the labour market is seen as the key to socio-economic upliftment. She said, implicitly, what seems to count primarily is that employment is created, not what this employment looks like. And how does this employment look in South Africa still now? This article was done in 2023. Low-income earners also get trapped in poverty when they rely on loans to cover basic needs and unexpected expenses. But what stands out to me is this. I'm just going to read from this section here. When we pay a person too little to have choice in life, we communicate that we do not see them, that we do not value them as human beings, and thus we do not afford them dignity. So now, what, according to her, is a decent salary that gives kind of a dignity in South Africa? I mean, this is a human rights issue. The idea of living wage dates to 1919, when it was mentioned in the Treaty of Versailles following the First World War. In 1948, the United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights mooted that everyone who works has a right to just and favorable remuneration. Now, what is it, a just and favorable remuneration? According to them, they did a whole lot of studies, and this is the amount that came out for South Africa. The mean, you can read that the point at which DIT represents the monthly income individual need to have choice over their lives and the quality of their lives. The mean is around 10 to 15,000 rand per month. That was written in 2020. You can look at the whole article here and read it all. It's basically saying that what I'm gonna say. A white guy, a Jewish guy owns it, and they were like, no, they pay us decent. He's a good boss. He pays us a lot. And to me, I was like, what is a lot? Because I've been out of the country for a while. I've been back 10 years now, but I'm still not sure what's a good salary. But according to like human rights that I've read up in the world, or in whatever human rights, that everybody, if you work a full day and the whole month, you should be able to afford a decent life. Like you should be able to go home and rent a flat, buy a house, or it's like not the richest, most expensive house, but like an average kind of a standard house. If you look in Cape Town, I made a lot of videos about this. Even here, I mean, the average, like you get the Cape Flats, which was made for when the whites kicked the non-whites out. They put them in the Cape Flats. In there, you can get places there, like really dangerous places for maybe, I can't remember now, but last time I looked, Khayelitsha was like 300,000, and even that you need quite a decent salary. But that's not nobody that's here, if I talk to people, would want to live like that. They want to live in like a little bit in Cape Town, we would say like around 2 million. And that's not even a lot, because here in Seapoint, these flats, these single room flats cost 2 million or even more. So this lady, they were like, oh yeah, we work here and they pay us decently, but even if she works whole month at the salary that they get, they wouldn't be able to even pay the rent in a place like this. Yeah, the cheapest rent in Seapoint, they can't afford it. And even if you go out of that salary is not enough for that. It's like 6,000 a month. That's what they would get if they work full time. And of course, yes, the boss who owns the place, I guess he's not doing it if he's not making a profit. I'm not sure if they're making huge profits and all that. However, what makes me sad is this whole situation is bad, because in theory, they should have owned it themselves and worked for themselves and sold it for themselves. And then they could make maybe a little bit more, like it's all. But no, it's like a capitalistic society where if you have a little money, like a little bit more like the old privileged people, in this case it was, then they can rent the place, set up the business and do all that and get cheap labor. And the cheap laborers, they feel it's okay. But this cheap labor is like indentured labor. It's almost like a form of slavery. To me, it's like a still slavery. Like they don't earn enough to come and work. Like in the past, the slave bosses, at least they were like, didn't have to work for their accommodation and shit. They were put in shit accommodations. And now the people work for so little, they can't even rent like a semi-decent place for that amount of money. It's just basically food for the month for 3 people, 6,000. What about the cheapest rental? So to me, that's still like a huge wrong. That is wrong. It's not right that you work. In the human rights is, if you work all day, you should be able to go home and live your own life in a decent standard. That's what human rights are. I'm gonna pull that up. And yeah, it's not happening in this touristic cool place. All those people running around looking so fancy, all that shit. The workers here, they still, I mean, if it was our own place, yeah, cool, that would be fine, then they can make more. But still, no, the ones who have a little money from the past, in this case it's from the past, they rent a place, they set up a place, and they make use of the cheap labor. Why? Because it's available. And then the people still think they're doing well. Like, what bullshit is that? That's not a good salary. A good salary, this is why for me, I don't think I can make money doing that. In using this system, it's difficult because like, everybody's doing it here. Fuck that. Don't like it. That's why when I walk around here, that it just reminds me of all of that, and I don't like it. And most people don't even, they do it because they have to, because there's no other option. And they're like, okay, we'll just take it, and they'll work the whole fucking day doing that shit, getting just enough money to buy food for maybe 2-3 people for the month. And then where do they have to live? And the rent. And they go in some places and everybody looks so happy clappy jogging around here. I mean, if I was in another country and they had the same kind of stuff, it would be better, because I've been a little bit places, and many times the people that are standing in these little takeaway shops, it's their own shops. Yes, not even their own shop in this area. It's somebody else's shop. That's annoying.